I've said this before. You know, when the government, a tyrannical government, passes certain bills and laws to make their actions legal, it's now lawful. Lawful for them to act on their plans, their purposed agenda. It's now a law. Just saying, this makes me think of the Armageddon campaign, which will come and chip everybody. It'll be a written law, but that's another topic. Anything the government does, you can wonder how does the government get away with doing the things they're doing and want to do? Just remember, they always project what they say they have to stop you from doing, they're doing behind closed doors. So get ready. Do you remember the National Defense Authorization Act, or the NDAA? When Obama passed the National Defense Authorization Act right before he left office, he affirmed certain aspects of this act that was already there. 3 things. Know the enemy's playbook. Have the discernment to see the writing on the wall. 2, pay attention. Like Jesus said, take heed that you're not deceived. When you see these things begin to happen, then look up, lift up your heads. This NDAA contains controversial language or cloaked language, allowing the indefinite military detention of persons, the government suspects of involvement in terrorism, including U.S. citizens arrested on American soil. It's already enacted. It's a series of United States federal laws. What Obama signed into law was what we know was to add billions and billions of dollars into programs for what they say they want to counter certain activities which are illegal, like misinformation, surveillance, and to legally censor you. This gives them the legal ability against the American people. Do you remember? It already allowed indefinite detention. The act affirms this authority and makes specific provisions. This is another component or caveat that was signed on December 29th, 2012. President Obama signed H.R. 4310, the 2013 National Defense Authorization Act. Section 1078 of the bill authorizes the use of propaganda inside the U.S., which had previously been banned since 1948, when the Smith-Mundt Act was passed. Never forget, communism requires a propaganda machine media, and the CIA handed them Operation Mockingbird. If a law is unjust, a man is not only right to disobey it, he is obligated to do so. Thomas Jefferson. An unjust law is no law at all. It's a famous quote by none other than Martin Luther King Jr. We are now coming into a time when what the government has purposely set up or deemed as legal, which means act as judge in a court of law, this is the act of tyranny and the definition of authoritarianism. One day in the near future, they could use these laws to come after you, the patriots, the normal law-abiding citizens, Christians, or anyone who doesn't agree with their agenda. We're seeing this being played out right now. Watch this short video and tell me this isn't a scenario that we could see played out today. Oh, and number 3, always stand up for what you want and who you are, because there's going to be a time when you're going to have to.
The CIA would go into the political opposition and set up groups, fund them, and have double agents inside the government, so when the communists took over, they could struggle against the communists, stage terror attacks, blame it on the communists. And I'm not defending the communists, but that's declassified from Operation Gladio, where they'd blow up buses in Italy when the communists were about to win office and say the communists did it. They're not using this against communists, and that's bad enough to blow stuff up and blame it on communists. They're going to blow stuff up and blame it on patriots. So this is their playbook, and Obama and the Defense Authorization Act put a whole bunch of different legislation in the Defense Authorization Act. The last thing he signed before he left office in January of 2017, to put billions of dollars into these different programs like Countering Foreign Disinformation Propaganda Act. And those orders went in, and Google and Facebook and Twitter and Apple and all of them followed suit to then surveil and censor an election medal, claiming it was legal but secret to counter Russians by designating Trump and his key supporters, yours truly, as Russian agents. So that's all come out. That's been in Congress. That's admitted. I told you back at the time it was going on.